Most people chase goals, and most people fail. Not because they're lazy, but because they're ruled by emotions, distractions, and false desires. The Stoics lived differently. They didn't hope to succeed. They built their lives around principles that made failure nearly impossible. In this video, you'll learn exactly how they did it. Lesson 1. Why Stoics never chased goals. The Stoics never chased success. They didn't obsess over the finish line or fantasize about applause. Instead, they focused on something far more powerful: the process. To them, a goal was not a destination. It was a mirror, revealing your discipline, your consistency, and your values in action. Seneca once wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." A man without direction is a man blown around by life. He mistakes motion for meaning. In today's world, we're told to dream big, move fast, and never stop grinding. But this constant chase creates anxiety, not progress. The Stoic doesn't hustle for validation. He moves with clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine two men with the same goal: to build a successful business. One obsesses over status, followers, and revenue. The other wakes up each day, focused on what he can control, showing up, solving problems, serving others. When storms hit, and they always do, one man crumbles, the other adapts. Why? Because one chased results, the other built resilience. Epictetus put it best: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The Stoics didn't believe in success by chance. They believed in becoming the kind of man who could not fail, because his success was in his effort, not in the outcome. Lesson 2. The Stoic strategy for setting fail-proof goals. Most people set goals based on outcomes. I want six-pack abs. I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to be respected. But the Stoics would ask, why? And even more importantly, who will you become chasing that? Their approach was simple, but radically different. Instead of focusing on results, they focus on identity. If you want strength, become disciplined. If you want peace, master your emotions. If you want success, embody virtue. To a Stoic, a goal wasn't about having something. It was about being someone. Imagine a man who sets a goal to lose 20 pounds. He starves himself, overtrains, and relies on motivation. Another man adopts the identity of someone who lives with discipline. He trains with consistency, eats with awareness, and sleeps with intention. Who lasts longer? Who becomes stronger? The one who focuses on the external, or the one who becomes a kind of person who naturally achieves the result? Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "Well-being is attained by little and little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself." That's why their goals couldn't fail, because success was measured in effort, alignment, and growth. If the gym was closed, they still showed up with discipline. If the business flopped, they still practiced courage. If life fell apart, they still chose reason over reaction. They didn't need the world to cooperate, to feel accomplished, because their fulfillment came from within. Picture a mountain climber. If all he cares about is the view at the top, he'll break when the weather turns. But if he learns to love the climb, the cold, the setbacks, the strain, he'll reach the summit, whether it takes months or years. That's the Stoic way. Lesson 3. Stoic Tactics. Daily practices for staying on course. Philosophy is useless without practice. The Stoics knew this. That's why they built their lives around daily disciplines, simple actions that realign them with virtue, no matter the chaos around them. Here are 6 Stoic tactics you can use right now to stay on course. 1. The morning reflection. Before you open your phone, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Not what do I want to achieve, but who do I want to become? Marcus Aurelius used this ritual daily. He'd prepare his mind for setbacks, difficult people, and the demands of leadership, all before the sun rose. 2. The evening audit. At night, reflect. Did I act with wisdom, with courage, with restraint? Seneca believed that self-awareness, practiced daily, was the foundation of growth. This isn't guilt, it's refinement. You're sharpening the blade, not punishing the warrior. 3. Negative visualization. Before a high-stakes task, a presentation, a difficult conversation, a new venture, pause. Imagine what could go wrong, not to scare yourself, but to prepare. The Stoics call this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. When you've rehearsed the worst, you move through life more calmly, because nothing can surprise you. 4. Voluntary discomfort. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that comfort is a poor teacher. Practice going without, skip a meal, take a cold shower, walk instead of drive. When you choose discomfort, life's forced hardships lose their sting. You become anti-fragile. 5. The one virtue rule. Choose one Stoic virtue each day. Courage, temperance, justice, or wisdom. Let that word shape your actions. If you choose temperance, you skip the 3rd cup of coffee. If you choose courage, you say what needs to be said. Every day becomes training. Every moment becomes a test. 6. Journaling for clarity. Stoics kept journals not to document their lives, but to correct them. Write about your thoughts, your fears, your failures. Journaling is how you sharpen your prohairesis, your moral will. You begin to notice patterns, catch lies you tell yourself, and track your movement toward the man you're trying to become. Lesson 4. How Stoics handled setbacks without losing momentum. Setbacks are inevitable. The Stoics never denied this. They prepared for it. When most people fail, they spiral. They question their identity. They lose momentum. They quit. But to a Stoic, a setback is not the end of the path. It is the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Imagine this. A man loses his job. He panics, feels worthless, begins to doubt every choice he's ever made. But a Stoic pauses. He breathes. He asks, "What part of this is under my control?" His answer, "My reaction, my plan, my effort." So he moves, he rebuilds, he adapts. Epictetus said it clearly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic doesn't resist obstacles, he absorbs them. Didn't hit the goal, refocus. Got embarrassed, learn from it. Lost money, time or energy. Extract the lesson, then move forward with even more clarity. This mindset is not passive, it's powerful, because it means you can't be broken by what you don't cling to. The Stoic doesn't fear setbacks, because he's not married to outcomes. His fulfillment comes from showing up with virtue, especially when it's hard. And when he fails, he doesn't say, "Why me?" He asks, "What now?" That question changes everything. Lesson 5. Why the Stoic goal-setting system works in the modern world. Today's world runs on dopamine. Likes, clicks, instant results. You're told to dream big, manifest harder, grind faster. Every influencer preaches some version of rise and grind, but most are burning out behind the scenes. New Year's resolutions vanish by February. Gym memberships go unused. Promises are broken, not because people are weak, but because their goals are built on sand, emotion, impulse, hype. Stoicism is different. It doesn't hype you up. It hardens you. It teaches you to focus on what you can control, not the outcome, not the applause, not the algorithm. In a world where everyone's curating their highlight reel, the Stoic journals in silence. In a world addicted to comparison, the Stoic returns to his virtues. He doesn't need to feel motivated, because he's trained himself to act in alignment, regardless of mood. The Stoic doesn't ask, "How fast can I achieve this?" He asks, "How do I stay aligned with virtue every single day, no matter what happens?" That's why it works, because it isn't built on emotion, it's built on intention. In a world of instant gratification, Stoicism builds delayed gratification, the muscle that separates men who quit from men who conquer. The world will keep changing. The distractions will keep coming. But a Stoic doesn't chase clarity. He creates it by showing up the same way every day, especially when no one's watching. Lesson 6. Start small. Stay Stoic. Building a system you won't abandon. Big goals fail because they overwhelm. We look at the peak and forget the path. The Stoics understood that greatness isn't achieved in grand gestures. It's built in the small moments you think don't matter. Seneca wrote, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but it is truly no small thing. One page written, one workout completed, one urge resisted. These are not meaningless actions. They are votes for the man you're becoming. Think of a tree, not the towering oak, the man with the axe. He strikes once, nothing happens. Twice, still nothing. 10 times. The tree stands tall, but the 100th strike, that's the one that brings it down. Not because it was special, but because of the 99 that came before." That's how identity is formed. That's how success is built. Through patient, purposeful repetition. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly. There must be time." The Stoic doesn't wait for motivation. He moves without fanfare, without applause, because he knows that virtue compounds. Most men quit because they need to see progress to stay committed. The Stoic stays committed so that progress becomes inevitable. So don't start with a perfect plan. Start with a principle. Ask yourself, what would a disciplined man do today? Then do just that. Because every small act of discipline carves the path towards something greater, even if the world doesn't notice yet. Most people fail because they set goals for outcomes. The Stoic sets goals for identity. Most people quit when it gets hard. The Stoic expects it to get hard and moves forward anyway. Every action is a seed. Every response is a reflection. And every single day is a chance to cast a vote. Not for what you want, but for who you're becoming. So the only question left is, will your next move be ruled by emotion or by reason? Because that's the difference between wishing for change and becoming someone who never needs to wish again.